We were in an up economy then. We were not in where we're at now. And the market acted just the opposite of what I thought we should. So visualize if you are, when you're an economy out there that does need some direction, whether it's right or wrong, we need to do something. We need leadership. If we stalemated this leadership out there, then we have a problem. And doing a key reversal down is not good when it comes to grades, because what you've done, if that's as a person doing this, you've looked at all that data that I've accumulated, all the information, especially the month of December and into January, and say, is everything all is well and good yet or not? And if it isn't, you say all that I learned doesn't matter now because the game changed, or I believe that enough is enough, and I'm just going to stand aside and let's see how things fall through. But and that's what we've done. We did it once before that I could find in the last 10 or 20 years, and this is back here, back in 2007. And again, we were in an uptrend. We had a key reversal down. We went lower the next month for a while, turned around, went higher, and then surged another 20% higher. So that's the decision that we're making in equities right now. And maybe we're making in agriculture as well. Is that, have we pulled back enough? Is there a demand for our products? Is the world getting better or not so worse? And have we bottomed out and now we're going to inch our way higher? I don't have that answer yet. I have my inclinations that maybe it's not going to be as easy getting the next 20% in the stock market. And it makes perfect sense to me that you pull back, so you see some profit taking and see how low it can get. NASDAQ did the same thing. That's a small cap stock. Did the same thing. The last couple of days we've been higher. It turns out the funds buy stocks the first couple of days of the stock market. So we'll look and see how the market closes for the week. The dollar is another thing that we've talked about a lot in many our analysts talk about it, and you need to be aware of what's going on. The dollar is cheap. That's good for us. That's bad for Brazil, and because they sell their soybeans in dollars and convert them into real, and Brazil is a place to be. And think back of all the rhetoric we have going on now about how we're turning into a third world country and how we can't stand and hold our head up high because our dollar is weak. I say, screw it. If you want to go to Europe or somewhere and buy a ticket and spend $500 a night for a hotel, that's your problem. I don't have a lot of sympathy for you. But if you want to sell products, bring jobs home, we may have to do that. This may be, if it stays weak, that may be Obama's salvation is that we bring jobs back for all the different reasons, and our economy does that, or the world's perception of us. There's a move out afoot now that create another economy, or another currency. Saudi Arabia doesn't like it because they get paid in dollars. The dollar keeps getting weaker. They got to keep raising the price of oil just to keep up with the weakening dollar. So there's a move that wants to create a currency that has some gold in it. And I'm thinking, what fool is going to do this? But there's a lot of people that like to buy gold, and it doesn't create anything. You can't eat it, and you can't do much with it except hide your money somewhere else. I think I'd rather hide it in land myself. But if that happens, we probably will become viewed as somewhat of a third world country compared to Asia and the growing countries. Brazil was there once, and it got cheap enough to where money came back into that country, and now that's where a lot of the oil money wants to go buying land. They understand that they've got the land. To make no mistake about it, we have the ability, we have the entrepreneurship to be able to create things. China can copy, they can manufacture, but they don't create a whole lot. You look at Japan. They copied us. They can redo things well, but we are the innovators, I think. So for me, where would I rather have my money? If the world is getting in trouble, I'd rather have it here. I don't want it in Ecuador. I don't think I want it in Brazil. And I don't think I want it in Russia. And I don't know if I want it in China. We'll see how China does. They're really hammering their economy, slowing it down. India raised their interest rates 1.5% in one day. Do those guys know anything about running the economy? Time will tell. So if they screw it up over there, we may win by default being the best place to store money because you lose less. I mean, if that's something bad about it, I guess. But you can look at it, and it doesn't make any difference who's president. Clinton, the presidency, the dollar rose. Bush got elected, the dollar fell. We knew we were going to get rid of the party of the last 8 years, so the bot had bottomed out, whether it was Obama or Hillary. McCain, I don't think, had a chance, especially if you're an ethanol producer. And so the market rallied again, and then we got more stimulus, and here we are right back down to where we were for about 4 months, trying to establish whether, right down here where we went 4 or 5 months sideways, trying to determine is it low enough, just like I just showed you in the stock market. Did things get so bad that we overdid it? Are we really that bad of a nation? And now we have the proving to do with probably how we're going to carve our way out of this. But if you'll notice, if you watch, right down here, I use some things in Top Producer and in my own analysis called a momentum indicator. It just says, has the momentum gotten too negative to where we got to turn around, and you get buy and sell signals with it. You can see the sell signal back here, and the buy signal here, and the sell signal and so forth. We've gotten to the point where I respect it. The dollar is very, very close to posting a monthly buy signal. And I don't know if it's for the reason I just mentioned. By default, we win or not. But if we get a buy signal in the dollar, because we suddenly are doing things right in Congress, we might find a statesman someplace left in there that'll stand up and say, I don't care about my job. We're doing this because it's right. There's some in the wings, if you listen to them, and I think coming. But if that were the case, or we win by default because Greece, for instance, has got economic problems, there's other things coming out there. Dubai, in their capitalism and capital markets and buildings are in trouble. Think about it. If you generate money by producing something like oil or wheat or corn, and you got a bill to pay, and your bills go up and the price goes down, you got to pump twice as much to get the same dollar to pay that bill off. So there's nothing to discourage oversupply out of Saudi Arabia just to pay their bills. And so it's kind of an interesting